first thing we're gonna go over is paper use on pack jobs. So one of our goals is we got some of the rolling 12 numbers sent out, so we're getting a little behind on packing on average on the Prostall Johnsons on Unigroup and stuff like that. So we're gonna just want to tighten that up. The biggest complaint we have is they did great, they just used too much paper. So we just need to know when enough is enough, you know what I mean? And because I know some of you, I mean, I've done it too, where you're just trying to fill that box and get it with paper, fill it up to top. So we just need to make sure that we have a balance and we're cutting it off when we're cutting it off.
My
'Cause that's
boxes is full.
I know they are.
Well, if everything's made of glass, right?
Huh?
If everything's made out of glass.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying,
I
like
usually use,
that's
I
honestly,
usually use a lot of, not a lot of paper, just protect like that. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Tell them, Sandra.
But like I said, that's probably like one of our, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, they did great at packing, but when I was unpacking, I had, a shit ton of paper. And a lot of people don't understand, you know what I mean, what it takes into going to protect their goods. So I get it. I'm not saying don't protect them. I'm just saying,
Be mindful.
be mindful of it, and when there's a cutoff, just cut it off.
And maybe you could use the customer's own towels too, so they don't have so much paper
Yeah,
to unpack.
it's most definitely a good one.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
guess just try to not use too much paper on pack jobs.
Yes, sir.
International is a requirement.
I think international
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say, I'd rather see that we're using too much instead of not enough, so.
I mean, we could just start throwing shit in the vaults and stuff if that's.
Right, yeah.
For real. I'm down with that. I'm really good at that.
And then this one's going to be a little more driver centric. When we're doing pre-trips and stuff like that, when you guys are putting low fuel levels and stuff like that, isn't that something that you guys can change yourself and fix yourself instead of putting on your pre-trip? So when you guys are failing your pre-trip on low levels and stuff like that, you guys are putting yourself up for scrutiny from DOT. So if they see anything that you guys failed and you guys are driving that truck and it left our yard, it's not on the company, it's on you guys. So whatever you guys, default equipment, stuff like that, stuff that you guys can physically change on the truck, don't put it on your pre-trip, fix your truck. Because when we're putting all these fails here, you have a fail, you're saying you're leaking oil and shit like that. And you're pulling through a fucking scale and DOT's like, oh, let me see your pre-trip, they see this, and you have a fail on your truck and you're driving your truck, that's on you. Because you're the one that made that decision to drive it out of this yard. And if it's something serious, and you don't feel comfortable driving it, we'll pull the keys and tell them I can get it fixed, We'll call your customers, we'll delay jobs and stuff like that. So we just need to make sure, when it's something that you guys as a driver can fix, don't put it on there. Low fluids, fill up your fluids. Missing equipment, ask us if we have extra, emergency equipment, stuff like that, just so you guys aren't getting in trouble.
Drivers, when you do your pre-trips, make sure that the defects that you're putting on whip around are warranted.
Okay, can I ask about that? What's the point of being on the pre-trip if they don't want us to say that it's not there when it's not there?
Well, what you guys don't understand is some of the shit that you put on your pre-trip would really necessitate Michael telling you you're not driving that truck today, it's shut down because I have to now fix what you put on your pre-trip, even though it wasn't a super huge safety concern. Now that it's on, because this pre-trips don't just go to us.
Yeah.
They go, everybody above us
Yeah.
gets to see them. So certain things are flagged when they're sent to people, and that means you can't drive that truck today.
Okay.
So I think they're trying to say, just make sure when you put something on there that it's like a real safety concern, not just, yeah, I see that something's fucked up on it, and you're doing your job by notating what you see. But on the other side of it, it's making it seem like it's worse than it is, and people above us think that we're sending you guys out and trucks are getting safe
Yeah.
because of what's being put on the pre-trip, and Michael's like, it's not even, this is a huge safety concern, but because somebody else saw it, technically I'm supposed to contact the driver and say, you can't drive that truck today, it's gotta be put out of service until I fix the problem. So, I think it's just not nitpicking every little thing that you see wrong but if it's something that you feel is warranted, then put that on your pre-trip.
Okay.
So, again, I don't know what happened to necessitate that, but
I
it's
mean, I
obviously
think it's me,
happened.
because whenever I get in a truck, there's no spare bulbs, there's no spare fuses, there's no spare reflectors, there's no.
So,
no
So
anything.
those are things you can get though, instead of putting it in your pre-trip, you can go get those things.
and with the
We have
fuses,
fire extinguishers and triangles in the
But,
back.
well, every truck has a fire
That's
extinguisher and triangles, it's just like the spare bulbs and fuses, they're never there.
so the spare fuses, people either steal them or lose them. And if he keeps fuses in the truck, then you guys are expected to fix them when they go out.
Yeah, that's
When
fine.
they're not kept, well, that's fine for you, but all the other drivers here are like, fuck that, I'm not changing fuses.
Yeah, we've had that multiple times.
So, it's like, we can't please everybody with this, so he's trying to do it to where I'm not keeping fuses in there, so if something needs done, I can fix it.
Okay.
I'm not leaving fuses in there for a driver who may or may not feel like fucking with it that day. And then it never gets fixed, and then another driver gets in and it's like, what the fuck, there's a blown fuse, so-and-so drove it the last 3 days. Why wasn't this taken care of? And that driver's gonna be like, fuck you, man, it's not my, it's not my fault, not my problem. So, I think it's more of, some people care and would do it themselves, and other people are like, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that shit.
Alright.
So Michael's like, I'm just not gonna keep them in there, so when it has to be fixed, people will put it on the report, fuse blown, and I will fix it. So, from my understanding, that was the reason behind it, was the fuses in particular. So, I think that's it for this week. Is there anything you guys want us to pass on? Anything that needs addressed?
Yeah, tell the military, when we get there, the customer should have one option, whether to unpack or not.
Like I was saying
Like
earlier,
yesterday.
that dude switched his mind on us, like, as we were getting ready to leave yesterday.
When we first got there, he was like, yeah, I just want the kitchen unpacked, don't worry about it.
Well,
And he started unpacking it, but we got all the way done.
with military, there's a form where they're supposed to initial
Yeah.
whether you offer to pack or unpack, make them sign that up front.
Okay.
If they say, no, I don't want an unpack, okay, we should sign this form for me, please, and then later, when you're getting ready to leave, they're like, hey, I want you to unpack, and you're like,
What about a partial unpack, like he's saying, if they wanna unpack the kitchen? So it's kinda like a.
Cause yeah, it's a pretty binary answer on the form, it's yes or no, which probably means all or nothing.
I mean, if you guys are having problems with it, then try to force the customer into a decision up front.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you can kind of get a feel for the customer. I mean, there's really no right answer, because even if you do have them sign it up front, and then they're gonna wanna try and change their mind, and even if they say yes, then how do you on the form say partial unpack, full unpack?
But I thought we get paid for the whole unpack, no matter how many boxes we unpack.
You get paid for what you unpack.
But is it the number of boxes?
It
Or-
depends on if it's military or international. I didn't know internationals were all unpacked debris removal, and that's not just military.
Right.
Your trailer the other day,
Yeah.
I had no idea that we were expected to unpack and debris removal,
Right, yeah.
all of that shit from an entire trailer.
I thought that was supposed to be rotated though.
That's what I thought, cause I went to the order and I was like, there is nothing in the notes, there's no unpack service, there's no mention of any of this, and the customer's demanding that we unpack and debris removal an entire fucking trailer. And David was like, oh, all internationals are, I'm like, well, I've been fucking 7 years. This is-
Yeah, also David was like, get it done in one day, so. that
Well,
was
he
fun.
said, usually with unpacks, it's kind of dishonest, but you try to overwhelm the customer, like you pick one room and you just try to unpack everything and there's shit everywhere. Cause you guys know on unpacks, we just take it out of the box. We don't have to fucking put it in the drawers, we don't fold their clothes, hang them in the closet.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, can we clarify that? Cause with that, we do not hang shit on the closet, do we? No, that's what I was always told. I just wanna make sure, cause that was very confusing
No,
for some
you
of us.
can take, depends, military jobs, technically clothes are supposed to be in brown paper.
Yeah,
There's wardrobe, we're gonna try to not use stand-up wardrobes in vaulted shipments, cause it takes up a lot of fucking room. Lay down wardrobes, or you're supposed to put clothes inside a brown pad of paper and fold the paper up and make like a little package. So when you unpack, open that up.
and just leave it,
let
right?
Close it out.
Yeah, see, that's what I was told, but we just had a confusion and it just,
Hanging.
I was just confused on that one, yeah. Cool.
So that was news to me too, so. I don't know, that's just a shitty customer. People wait till you're walking out the door, just like the other job where they were shutting the doors to the trailer and they're like, hey, we wanna take these 2 giant rocks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, fucking really? There really was 1 rock on the fucking survey.
No, there's 3. So we
Oh,
just,
3? Okay. So they actually did put these rocks on the fucking survey to take.
At what point do you consider it like a rock versus a boulder as well?
oh, dude, they were boulders.
That's
They were
insane.
They were fucking huge. It took, what, 4, 5 people to pick it up?
Wow.
And get it on the end of the truck, so.
That needs to be
That's
done.
just, that's just a fucking sales rep. Not having a fucking spot.
Where's the Greg fucking Woods thing when you need it?
You know, like, no, I'm sorry. We're not taking boulders.
Yeah.
You know, just fuck.
Third and final one, it's getting hot, so make sure we're taking care of ourselves and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Shower daily. Hygiene's really important, especially in this job. Customers, you know what I mean? I don't want to. Had a few customers, you know. We used to have this one kid that worked here, man. He did not know how to shower, and we had a few customers complain. So we just need to make sure hygiene's up there. It's not for the customers, it's not for your fellow co-workers. Just make sure we're staying clean and healthy. You guys got any inputs, any questions? Sweet, thanks guys.